Hello everyone. It has been so long since I've made a video, and I was actually watching some of my videos today and sort of thought, I think it's time for an update, because it's been almost a year since I filmed my last video, which was, I think my last video was the end of my gap year in Italy. That must have been it. But so much has changed since that video. It's been, trying to do the math. I ended my gap year December 2022, and it's now March of 2024. So it was a whole year that I missed out on filming because there was just so much going on in my life, and I thought I would just do a little update. And I also miss making videos and editing, so I thought I would start today. Today is the, bear with, March 24th, 2024. And I am, as you can see, in a completely new room. My laundry over there. Completely new room by myself. I live in a different country since last year. I am with new people. I live alone. I live 4,000 miles away. And I feel like a new person. Not to be super dramatic, 2023 was like a very transformative year for me. I thought after my gap year, I'd learned so much about myself. I'd learned so much about the world. I thought, oh, I feel so adult, like super excited for what's to come. And I had a really big specific plan about what I was going to do after my gap year. And ultimately that fell through, and what I had planned on doing for many, many years of my life didn't happen. So at the last second, I had to pivot and I moved to London. So right now this video is being filmed in my flat in London, and yeah, so much has happened since that gap year. I thought I knew so much about the world, but I actually didn't. Like, I've learned so much more about who I am as a person and who I am as an adult. And like, living alone has taught me so much, and living so far away from everything that I knew, and doing life with people who have no idea what my life was like at home, and like have no idea what being an American is like at home, and have never been to the US. And some people said like I was their first American friend ever, which is I feel like a big responsibility to have. There was just so much that I learned about myself in these I moved to London in September 2023, and it's now March, so 7 months almost, because I moved beginning of September. So it's been almost 7 months since I've lived here, and it's just been super transformative and very difficult. I won't sugarcoat it at all. Lots of people say, oh, Ellis, you're having so much fun. Like, I see your Instagram stories, I see your posts, like you seem like you're having so much fun. And honestly, Instagram and social media is such a highlight reel, and so much of it is like, I'm not going to post the bad things about my life. I mean, I feel like that wouldn't really make sense. So I feel like online, it seemed like I was having a good time, and I was having a good time at some points, but moving here was literally the most difficult thing I've ever done. And I feel like I've pushed myself a lot in my life. Like, I know I've only been on this earth a very short amount of time. I've pushed myself a lot, and I've grown a lot in a very short amount of time. Nothing could have prepared me from moving out of the country. I'd already planned on moving away, but moving out of the country was something I hadn't planned on doing for college. And so when it happened, boy, I was not ready at all. Lots of tears were shed over the last 7 months. Like, so much growth has happened. Lots of like some loss too, not loss in the sense of like death, but just loss of friendships and relationships and things that I didn't think would happen from moving away. And I kind of just realized, like, once you move that far away, you really figure out who your true friends are, because those are the people who are continuing to check up on you and see how you're doing. And a lot of people didn't really realize that I was having a really hard time. And so I kind of realized then, like, oh, those people who check up on you are your true friends. And a lot of people that I thought in high school I would see and I would chat with a lot aren't people I've talked to a lot. And through this whole experience, I've learned the art of being okay being alone. And I thought I knew that from my gap year, because I did some things alone then, but not to the extent that I am now. Living alone is challenging. Having like eating meals alone was something I never experienced before. So doing that now at the beginning was really, really difficult. On my gap year, I shared a room with people, so I was always like getting ready with people, always around someone. But now, since I live alone, but living alone in the sense of like sleeping alone and having my own space was just a very new concept for me. Because even at home, even though I had my own room, my own bathroom, I would still be like going downstairs and having breakfast with the family or seeing friends and stuff. And that just wasn't what it was like here. So that was a huge, huge like moment for me to be like, okay, like you're an adult now. Traveling is different because I feel like a lot of times we go out for dinner and we were going to cafeterias and different things, having food, and we wouldn't really go grocery shopping. But here I'm realizing, wow, like one person does eat a lot of food and I still go through a lot. I guess I didn't explain why I'm in London. I moved to London for a musical theater course that goes for 2 years, full-time all the way through. So I'm in school 9 to 5 every day for 2 years pretty much. And it's been a lot. It's been a lot of school. I do love it and it's what I want to do with my life, but it's mentally really challenging, physically exhausting. I come home at night and I'm just tired. I don't want to make dinner. I just want to go to bed. But then I'm in the gym and like working out and all these things. It's been mentally really, really challenging, but a very good challenge. I loved a challenge and I love to push myself hard. So it's been something that needed to happen. And I'm glad that it's happening. Though moving to London and going to this program was never what was on my life goal. And living here in a different country, especially for school, for college, was never what I expected to do. So that was a challenge at first, just to get settled and be like, hey, this is my reality. Like I'm living in London. Not to sound snotty, but I was like, this is not what I wanted to do, but here I am and I need to make the most of it. And I came into the program with the wrong mindset. Like I don't want to be here. And I had very high expectations for people that I was meeting. And I thought, these are how the people are going to be like. This is how they're going to act. This is going to be their work ethic, all these things. And I came to the program and it wasn't like that. Just because people have it's also a different culture. Like learning a different culture, coming to London, that's different. The education system's different. So many things that I hadn't prepared for were different because I thought, oh, it's this English speaking country. Like how different can it be? Actually really different. The cultures are so different. Learning about that and being thrown into that was hard. At 18, it was hard to like not victimizing myself at all because I'm so grateful to be here, but it was hard to do that. It was hard to come into a culture that I really didn't know anything about. I'd been to London a few times before, but I'd never lived here alone. So that was challenging in itself. There are just lots of different factors that made the move here challenging. But I wouldn't change it for a thing. Like I wouldn't change it for the world because it's made me so much stronger in life and it's made me a more mature person and have clearer goals in my life. It made me realize how I don't want people to treat me and how I do want people to treat me and who my true friends are. Honestly, I think this move would have boiled down to being okay being alone and enjoying time alone as an adult. So like independence, really. I was very independent before, but not to this level of independence. 2, hard work. Hard work pays off, and hard work is what I need in this industry to continue moving forward with my goals and my dreams. 3, you can't have a high expectation for everyone. You really can't go into anything having a specific expectation because 9 out of 10 times it's not going to be met. And that mentality, I think, is what made the whole thing so much more difficult. Whereas if I come to the program thinking, you know what, I have no expectations, like I'm just going to do my best, I'm going to do the best that I can with what I have. If I'd come into the program with that, I think it would have been a lot more positive the first 4 months. But instead I came in easy peasy, I'm gonna have the best time of my life, all these things. And it wasn't that, and I think it made it 10 times worse because I came in with that mentality. So don't have high expectations because it changed. The first 4 months of living here were probably the hardest 4 months of my life. Not being dramatic, not being, like, not overreacting, but honestly, it was so hard. I felt a sense of loneliness that I've never, ever felt in my life. And part of that is because of the culture and because I couldn't, like, at the beginning, I couldn't really relate to the Brits who were here because, like, our lives were different and the way that we grew up was extremely different. So I had that, like, block in our friendship and, like, friendships with people. The fact of, like, the time change. It was 6 hours when I moved here and now it's 5, but the time change was difficult. No one really reached out, which is fine. I'm not blaming anyone for that. But I wasn't talking to people at home and I was having a really hard time, like, connecting with people here. So I was just like, right, Ellis, you're all you got right now. And it was a very, very lonely first 4 months. And also stupid boy stuff at home. And I learned to never have anyone treat me like that. But it was a mix of all those things together. And I was like, my phone was quiet. It was quiet. Nothing was happening. There was no notifications. And those first 4 months were like the reality of this is the real world. Like, people aren't going to be there for you. You're all you got, kind of. And I'm really grateful for my parents who I was able to call every night. But other than that, it was very, this is it. You got yourself and you got God, and that was it. So that was very eye-opening as well. Yeah, sorry, this has been a bit of a ramble. But I just wanted to update on what was going on. It is now March 2024. I have grown so much as a person, so much as an artist. I feel like I'm working harder than I've ever worked before, which is crazy because I thought I was a hard worker anyways before, and I do put 100% of myself into things, but now it's like just that little extra to get me over the hump. I don't feel so lonely anymore in this big city, this little girl in a big city. I have friends that I really love. I have a church that I've been starting to get connected in. I love my little room, my little literally 5 square room. It's tiny, but I love it now. I used to, like, have really, really bad memories connected to it just because the first 4 months was like a lot of me spending my time in this room alone, crying, or like just not mentally well. And so when I came back from Christmas, it was like all those memories sort of flooded back onto me. But now I'm grateful for this room. I'm grateful for where I live. Before, I didn't really love where I lived because it wasn't central London. Like, it didn't look like what you think about London would look like. It's very industrial where I live. But now I've grown to love it. I came back after Christmas with a completely new mentality of, I'm gonna spend these next 2 years, year and a half, honestly, doing the best that I can with what's given to me and working the hardest that I can. It's not gonna be the best time of my life. It's not gonna be maybe the most fun time of my life. I think God just made it like, else this is supposed to be a hard time of your life. And that's okay. And I've come to terms with that. I believe that nothing happens without reason. Like, everything happens for a reason. And people are placed in your life and people come out, like, are taken away from your life for very specific lessons to learn. And I've already learned so much. So I'm very excited to see what I learn in the next year and a half, even though I know some of it might be difficult. But we're also not promised an easy life. But I just thought, oh, my time in London is just going to be rainbows and butterflies, and it's going to be super fun and exciting. And it wasn't all that at the beginning, but honestly, I've learned so much about myself that I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful to be here right now, and I'm really grateful for the people who have come into my life to make this experience all the more. Yeah. Sorry, that was a bit of a ramble, but I just wanted to make an update video. I'm gonna start making little vlogs about my time in London because I want to document it, and it's going to be a prominent part of my life. Just because it was so transformative. So I want to start making vlogs. So I hope you all will stick around. Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say. Sorry it was long and disorganized, but vlogs are coming so soon. Love you so much.